What's up everyone, Alex here. So I wanted to do this kind of strange video where I talk about my experience modding the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. So this isn't really going to be like a guide on how I've done sort of things. I'm just going to talk about like the process I've had and the little journey I've had doing things. And I'll link to other videos that can explain how to like take things apart better than I can. So what you can see here, this is the first Retroid Pocket I had, which is the clear purple, and that's the 3 Plus. And after a while I started to ask myself, do I really like the clear purple? And I do, I like it a lot, but I love black so much more. So then I ended up buying a black shell, and this comes with a screen, and this is the screen here, and the reason why it's out is because I did something to this screen accidentally where I it's really hard to tell, but where the bezel is, I kind of like scratched the bezel. So I'm thinking I might do another screen replacement in the future. But yeah, the black shell came, and the shell comes with a brand new screen. And I took the screen out. It's very hard to take out this screen, by the way. As you can kind of see on the shell, there's a black rubber tape here, and this is an adhesive tape. So what I had to do, and some people have different methods to get this out. I read a method about using a very thin piece of plastic that had alcohol rub on it to kind of like go down the crease and kind of like gently pry it with the alcohol rub. But the heating method's better, and what I ended up doing actually is I took the screen, I just put it face down on my graphics card in my computer, because the graphics card was around between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, so I figured that was like a decent temperature to try and do this with, since when you're playing on the Retroid Pocket and if you're playing a more demanding game, the back gets quite warm, so the device is used to a certain amount of heat anyway. So I thought maybe the amount of heat from the graphics card would be enough, and it was, but you have to be very, very, very gentle with it. I've gotten the screen out of that one fine once, but this screen, if I was to power this up now, this edge of the screen's actually broken now, and I must have pushed it too hard with my thumb from underneath. So yeah, modding, first of all, as you can see, and you've seen in a couple of my videos now, we have the PlayStation buttons and the PlayStation D-pad. So if you go to AliExpress, you can order these, and I ordered some extras actually just in case, because I actually wanted to replace a couple of the buttons. You can get these D-pads and buttons in these little rubber membrane things. You can just pick them out, and I'll show you actually. I want to show you at least one, because when you take them out, there's actually quite a lot of height to them compared to the Retroid buttons. And this one, so they have some funny legs to them as well, and these you're going to have to sand them down. Basically only one of yeah, do this in a space where you're not going to drop things on the floor. I have lost things before, so what I ended up doing was using sandpaper and just rubbing the button into the sandpaper to sand it down, and then gently like sand down the circumference of the bottle just along the edge of the sandpaper, and then just trying to get like one leg remaining, because if you thin out the leg, that's enough to fit inside the shell. And it's quite a long process, and it's not like an easy video. I don't really have a setup for this kind of thing, so as you can tell in this video, it's a lot brighter because I'm not actually recording any gameplay, because if I was to record some gameplay on this, the screen would be so reflective and shiny. So maybe one of these days I'll have a recording area where that won't be a problem. And that's how I ended up getting these this D-pad and these buttons into the device, which I love. So then I ordered the black shell, and I swapped to the black shell for a while. I really love the color, but something I didn't anticipate is actually the quality of the plastic. This is a very smooth plastic, and once your hands get a bit clammy because the device gets warm, or you're just like really into a game, there's something about holding this clear shell which just it's not as satisfying with the solid color, not clear. And with the clear shell, the quality of the plastic is just different. It just feels nicer to hold on the fingers, like there's a little bit of a natural grip there. So I really like the quality of the clear shells a lot more than the solid shells. And now you're wondering to yourself, wait, this whole thing is black. What's going on? It's not clear purple. It's like, has he gone crazy? He said this at the start of the video. No, so when I switched over to the black shell, what I decided to do was use this. It's called Rit Dymore, and there's two versions. There's Rit, and then this one, which is Dymore, which is you don't want to get the standard version, you want to get this version. This is the only one that's going to actually dye the plastic, and you want to be careful with that. And if you were to dye a plastic with Rit Dymore, you also need acetone and a mixture of basically 9 parts water, half a point of that and half a point of that. I'm not really too sure, actually. It was my first time doing it, so I think what I ended up doing was actually dyeing this a lot more black than I would have liked, but I wasn't really sure what the outcome was going to be. I didn't know what I intended it to be. I guess there was part of me that wondered if it would just sort of dye and become a see-through black in a weird way, which I would have loved. But what ended up happening was way cooler. So you can see this shell is like, it seems solid black. Almost. Even in this light. It's a pretty decent light, it seems. And now watch when I put this light underneath. Cool, huh? And if I have it exposed under like a lot more light, I'm going to put another video in this video. I'm going to edit it in so you can see this properly. But it's still see-through and it's a really dark purple. It's so cool. It's like a dirty atomic purple, and it's magic. And I ended up really liking that. So I was like, okay. The dyeing process was like, I had to take the shell with the mixture of the Rit Dymore and the acetone, and then basically I let the water boil, the mixture, and then I took the shells, so there was no screen or buttons in this, just clear shell, and I let them sit in the mixture boiling for about 5 minutes, and then I checked it and it didn't really look like it did much. And then I kept checking it over the next 5 minutes, and then suddenly I started to see it was a lot more black. So if I was going to do this again, I would have took this out around like the 6-7 minute mark. I would have been a lot more careful, because I think I might have actually preferred this to not be as black as it is. But I kind of got the best of both worlds here, because it's like, whenever I want it to be, it's solid black. But whenever I just am under some kind of light, we've got this cool secret purple thing going on. I love that. It's actually really cool. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. This is the rumble motor that goes inside the Retroid Pocket. I actually accidentally ripped one of the cables and then was thinking about soldering it again, but then I decided to pull it out. I might put that back in. I'm not sure if I want to. And when you do get replacement stuff, if you buy another shell with a screen, these cost about $40-50 to get a new shell, because it does come with a screen. You can't get one without a shell, which is a shame, but it's nice to have another screen, unless you're an idiot like me and you break the poor thing, because if I was to turn that on now, it's just all like a dead blue on the corner there. And you get this little bag that has, I've shoved some of the other stuff in there, but you get like tweezers, some other screws. I actually broke one of the R1 buttons from the original shell and took the R1. There's a lot of Frankenstein going on here. And now I've ended up with this really cool modded Retroid Pocket. And I'm thinking about maybe getting another screen to replace this one. You can see with this like extra light now that you just can't see the screen very well. This is why my videos are usually as dark as they are, so I do apologize for that. You can't see anything. And yeah, so the video I showed earlier, probably show it again, how under a lot of light you see that like cool see-through purple in it. And that was just a weird experiment I wanted to do. I thought, why not? I'm gonna have this extra shell, let's see what it can do, and ended up with that funky thing. So I'm thinking what I might do if I get another screen, I might order, so I'll get another shell, but maybe I'll order the clear blue, and I'll see if I can dye that another color. Like if I combine the clear blue with another kind of color and mix them together, could be a really cool outcome. I'm intrigued to see. Another thing that's coming out soon, I think it's the 30th of January, they're going to be selling a new official grip for the Retroid Pocket, except it only comes out, I think it's like a turquoise and a see-through color. And I'm thinking of getting the see-through grip, but actually dyeing it with this black. So I'm going to have, hopefully, a black grip to put this in, and that would be really cool. But yeah, it was a weird journey I have. I kind of like, this is the first time me doing this kind of stuff. I find it really interesting. I really like customizing stuff. If you've seen my channel with the Odin, you know that I really like spending a lot of time customizing and making that unique. So if that's inspired you in some way or something, then that's really cool. I just thought this would be a neat little video to do, even though there's no gameplay. But to me, there's something fun about taking these apart and looking at these little things. This Vita D-pad, for example, if I was to take this out, it's really stuck on that plastic. So this is one you'd have to sand down all of this bottom part, like right to the base of this plastic, otherwise this is not going to fit in. And then I had to use a lot of blue tack to kind of like, or white tack to hold the D-pad in place, otherwise it actually would have like slid around quite a bit. And I want to do a 1-year anniversary of the Odin, since I've done a lot of Odin on my channel, and it's basically been a year now since I first got the thing. So kind of want to do like a whole recap of having the Odin for a year. Is it still worth it? Should you buy one this year? I think they're more readily available now if you wanted to get one, which is really cool. Video, please give it a like. Do some more videos soon. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Hit that bell button if you want to get notified of more videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.